Check my YouTube channel, subscribe, and share.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss the chance to be a part of something impactful at the Align and Thrive Summit 2025. We are seeking innovative speakers and vendors to inspire and empower.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kimberly Speaking podcast. We have a very special returning guest on today, Miss Vitelle Webb. She is an award-winning actress. She's an author. She is a humanitarian, and we want to welcome her to our stage on today. Welcome, Vitelle.
Hey, good to be back.
Absolutely. So, how have you been?
Man, I have been just living my best life on tour, out here traveling the country, seeing some amazing places and meeting some amazing people. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. So you are on tour, as you stated before, the Nine Lives World Tour. Give us a little synopsis of what that's all about.
Yes, so for those who don't know, the Nine Lives World Tour is a one-woman show. In fact, I have all the women here where you can see them. We have the grand finale coming up here in Bowling Green, Kentucky soon, but it is a one-woman show about healing from trauma. I play all of these different characters that you see here. It is all about my own traumatic experiences and helping other people to heal from things that they are maybe experiencing or have gone through and still need some healing from. So that's what the show is all about. We've been on this 9-city tour. We are now on the ninth city. So it's kind of crazy to be at this point. And it's just been changing lives all over the world.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. What, where did this idea come from? Because I've never seen anything like this, and it was absolutely amazing. I'm going to be honest with you. When I came to the show in Raleigh, I just went through so many emotions. I was laughing, I was crying, I was mad. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? It's too much. But it was
I
just
love
so
it.
good. So what brought about the idea?
So I wrote the book during the pandemic.
Hmm.
I Am a
Hmm.
Poetic Ensemble. So it's based on the book. The
Okay.
book happened right before the world shut down. So I had always intended on creating a show to go with the book. Like all of my projects have a book, a movie, a play, all of the things that all go together and speak the languages of different ways people understand through entertainment. So music and all of the things. So it was always the plan to make the book into an album, into a movie, into all of those things. But when the world shut down, I couldn't really do what I wanted to do. I couldn't hire a team. I couldn't hire, the crew, the cast, and all of those things. So I had to really pray about what am I supposed to do with this.
Yeah.
And I ended up creating the one woman show because it was like, you can play all these different characters. You can do all of the parts and do all, and I'm just like, what? So it was really definitely a calling from God, and I did not want to do it at first at all. Like I honestly was like, no, that is crazy and that is big and that seems impossible. So get somebody else to do it. But God kept, putting it on my heart to do it, and I
Yeah.
eventually gave in reluctantly. And then next thing you know, I done wrote a whole show. I got all these
Yeah.
characters. I done pulled out all my
Wow.
wigs out the closet and did all the and then all these ladies just came together, and here we are today, years later. Since then, at first I did it virtually when I first started it because
Yeah.
of the pandemic. And then
Yeah.
after that, we took it on the road. We took it from state to
Oh
state by
wow.
request. And then 2025 was the first time saying, okay, let's do 9 cities in a row. These are the
Yeah.
states we're requested in the most. Let's lock them in and make it happen. And
Wow.
here we are.
That is awesome. I've never seen anything like that. It was just so good. I mean, I'm telling you, girl, it was like it was nine different people, like literally. And I'm like, oh my God, like for someone to be able to do that is such great talent. And how I
Yeah.
have to ask you because you're putting on this show, state after state, uh, tour after tour. How is it reliving that trauma over and over and over and over again?
Well, I would say the first several times that I did the
Hmm.
show, it probably was rough compared to now. Like, it's definitely a different dynamic at this point because I don't really relive it. I feel like I'm so much focused on what the people in the audience are going through and feeling their energy, and all the emotion that I get that I'm able to portray in the show is coming from the audience. It's not even coming from me anymore at this point. So it's like I'm so tapped into what they're going through. When I'm crying, I'm crying for empathy for them. I'm not even thinking about the fact that I actually went through this, and sometimes I'm so disconnected from it that I really have to sit back and be like, wow, this was my life. Like, it's almost like a distant memory that I'm I've healed so much from so many of those things, and I understand my purpose now that I'm not reliving it, and I'm not having any difficulty with it at all. And I'm glad you asked that, because I did at one point when I first started on this Nine Lives journey.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship that was one of the things he said to me. He's like, I don't think you should be continuing to do this show because it's going to make you keep reliving it and everything. And I just thought of Job when his wife was like,
Yeah, right.
you need to
You
curse
crazy
your God and
man.
die. And I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on, wait a minute, because I
Yeah.
almost fell for that. You're right. I should have been reliving,
Wow.
but I realized like I'm not. I'm really not. It was so healing for me to go through that process. And now that I'm in such a healed space, like the
Yeah.
impact I'm able to have on others because I continued to go, even when people who had seemed like they had the best of intentions wanted to, attempted to
Yeah.
stop me. And it's like
Yeah.
everything that's tried to stop me up to this point, I've persevered, and look how many lives have been changed because of it. So I'm glad I didn't
That
stop.
is crazy. Oh my God. I can only imagine the impact that it has on the lives of the people in the audience. Like I just think back and I'm just sitting here like I'm telling you, like it was just such an amazing experience. I'm like, everybody needs to see this because you can relate to one of the characters, if not all the characters.
Right.
So many people deal with, some of the same stuff. You know how the saying is, there's nothing new under the sun, because
Right.
we all go through the same things. It may be different or maybe to a different level
Right.
or things like that, but the same stuff nonetheless, because nothing is new. And just
Right. That's true.
it was so good. I'm telling you, like I was just like, I was
It's so
so glad I was
exciting
able
to
to make
be.
it. Oh my gosh. No, you were saying it's so exciting.
I'm
Say
getting a
again.
little bit of a delay.
I know.
No, it's okay. I was getting a little bit of a delay with the feedback, but
Okay.
hopefully it's coming through clear for the
Yeah.
people watching.
Okay.
But no, I was
Okay.
saying it's just so exciting interviewing with somebody who's actually seen the show now, and like just hearing from your perspective after the fact. It's one thing to interview with me, and nobody really knows what to expect, no
Yeah.
matter how many interviews I do or how much I try to explain it. Like, you
Yeah.
just had to be there. That's
Yeah.
what I tell people all the time. And so you have been there, so
Absolutely.
it's a different type of interview. This is actually my first time since we started this tour interviewing with somebody who's seen the show, and doing an aftermath
Yeah.
interview, I call it. So this is
Oh, that's
exciting.
so good. Yeah, because like I remember when we I don't know if we even talked about this in your previous interview, because I don't think we talked about it. I think we just kind of was talking about your book and like your past and things like that. But then I know when I saw it, I
Some
didn't really know
general
what to
information.
expect. I didn't understand,
Mhm.
the aspect of it. And so just like seeing it and like, oh my gosh, like this
Right.
is crazy. Like it was just
Mhm.
so good, and it's just like an experience I've never experienced. I didn't know what to expect, but it was really good. I would definitely tell you, it definitely took me through an array of emotions, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like,
Did you feel like you had
oh
a character? Right.
yes, I
Did you
will
feel like you
probably
had a
say
character that you related to the most, or like?
absolutely the relationship. I can't think of her name, but she was a little soft spoken, and the bad relationships. Maybe right. The 1, 2, 3
You gotta
from
look at
the
the.
left. Is that it? I think that's it. I think it's the one right. But
This one
yep,
here.
yep, yep. I think
Okay.
that was it. Right.
That's
But she,
Ashley. Okay, awesome. Ashley.
yeah, with
Okay.
the relationship stuff, and I was like,
That one
oh,
spoke to your
yeah,
heart.
Yes, I'm like, ooh. And even the one
Right.
where the domestic abuse, it wasn't to that extent, but it was, abuse nonetheless, because people think that, domestic violence is only physical, but sometimes it's, emotional, verbal, all those
Exactly.
different ones. So like
Hmm.
those two, I think they stuck out the most for me.
Right.
But all of them just really was like I could
Yeah.
actually feel the character's emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like even if I couldn't identify with it myself,
Nice.
it was just so
Hmm.
big. I don't
Right.
even know how to describe it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, and I just
That's
thought the
beautiful.
people that are being healed by watching this, or the people that she's
Absolutely.
speaking to, like this is so huge. Like it needs to be on the
Right.
biggest stage in the world, because it to me it would have that type of impact. And I was just like, oh
Right.
my
Right.
gosh, what in the world? Girl, my computer's acting
Wow.
crazy. See how the enemy trying to, you see what he doing? Girl, my
I
computer
know. I
done
keep
shut
it's
down. And
glitching, but I'm getting it. I'm getting
I'm like, what is
this is
going
good.
on, devil? You are a liar. Not today. Oh my
Exactly. I
goodness.
couldn't tell if it was me or you, but because I know I'm in
Girl, my
Bowling Green, so ain't no
computer just,
telling with these signals out here.
yeah, my computer screen locked. That's
It's all good.
never
We're gonna
done
press
that.
through. We're gonna persevere.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
So have people like reached out to you and given you like testimonies, or just kind of like let you know what it did for them, how it touched them? Like what are some
Mhm.
things that you've heard as far as feedback?
Man, every time. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why we keep this particular show like a more intimate crowd. I
Yeah,
try to like cut it off, but somewhere between
yeah,
50 to 70 people. I try not to have more people than
yeah,
that at this show, just
yeah,
because I know people are going to want to come to me after. People come share their testimonies. They want to get their
yeah,
book signed, all of that stuff. And I don't want to be like, I'm so overwhelmed, I
yeah,
can't
like
handle it,
overwhelmed.
because it's overwhelming for me after the show, like to hear the testimonies and stuff. And like I want to, because it's what keeps me going, and
Yeah,
knowing that it is impacting people. And even like parts of the show that I didn't necessarily want to put in there, or I might not have felt comfortable saying at first, but God was like, say that. And I'm like, oh, so just
yeah,
even in my obedience writing the
yeah,
show, and a lot of the show, like this one's different every single time, because a lot of it is improv, a lot of it just happens on the spot, whatever God tells us to do. And my team is very
yeah,
good at hearing from him, and we're all
yeah.
like, we'll all be in the vein at the same time, like, ooh, y'all heard that, and
Wow.
we'll be right on it with what God's telling us to do. And then we'll find out later when someone comes up with their testimony that that's why
Right.
God showed us that, or that's why God told us
Yep.
to do that. So it's like this whole show is so supernatural, I call it, all the time,
Mm,
because the testimonies are what confirms it. It's like, you
yeah.
remember when we used the knife instead of the gun, and
Yeah.
then so and so
Yeah.
came up and she was like, she went through exactly that same thing with the knife and everything
Mm,
and this and that. And it's like, wow, like,
it's
yeah, it's
crazy.
it's insane.
That is crazy. But you know what? That's how you know that what you're doing is, strictly from God, and that you're doing
Right.
exactly what He wants you to do, and you're reaching the people that He
Exactly.
wants you to meet. So that's like gotta be
Mhm.
some awesome confirmation. Like that is
Yeah,
absolutely awesome. Oh my
it
gosh.
is.
So
And
what do
it's
you
mind blowing.
I'm sure. And your cast, like I met everyone. Everyone was just so sweet and so nice. Like even the people that are like the MCs, it was funny. Like it was just a great experience. I'm so glad I was
Mhm.
able to make it, because I was actually coming from Fayetteville. I was like, oh my God, it's the same day. Like I'm double booked. I'm like, we can make it work. So it worked out. Yeah, it worked out.
So you were coming from Fayetteville, Georgia,
I
and you
was
came to
coming from
Nashville?
no, Fayetteville, North Carolina to Raleigh.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay, I'm thinking. Okay, that's right. You did say Raleigh. Okay, from
Yeah.
Fay. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize there was a Fayetteville, North Carolina.
I didn't realize it was Fayetteville,
Okay,
Georgia.
wow, that's
That's
crazy. That's
crazy.
awesome, then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I was so happy that I was able to make it. So let me ask you a question. What um do you see yourself taking this even to the next level? What does that look like? What are your plans for going forward with the tour?
So there's a lot of potential plans in the work that I don't want to go too much into detail
Okay.
yet until we
Okay.
figure out exactly where we're
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
with it. But it's definitely like, so this is the grand finale here, as you can see on
Okay.
the flyer. I put grand finale to
Mhm.
let people know, like, this may be your very last opportunity to ever see this show the way it is now. I say
Yeah.
that because I say the way it is
Mhm.
now because if I was to bring it back to the stage again later, it would
Yeah.
be completely revamped. The characters would be completely different because it wouldn't, like, this was what I did during the pandemic, being locked in
Okay.
the house with
Yeah.
whatever tools and equipment I
Yeah.
had there with
Whatever.
me. So between the video quality, I'd hire, we have all new camera equipment since then,
Okay.
crew and team, and everybody to help with all the sound and the lighting and all of the stuff to
Yeah.
make it even more professional looking than it already is, what I
Okay.
did with my phones, right? And
Yeah.
so and then also having a whole makeup crew, a professional crew with the aesthetics and all of the things to
Yeah.
make me look like, you think this,
Yeah.
everybody thinks these look like completely different people. Like, it would be complete, the vision that I have for what they would look like
Okay.
in the revamped version of the show is
Yeah.
completely different than even that. Like, you're not gonna know it's me
Oh,
at all.
wow.
And so,
That's
like, yeah, just
crazy.
taking the whole thing to the next level. And like I said, that's if we bring it back to the stage the way we're
Yeah.
doing it right now. But there is a few other options, and there is talks about a movie version of it, but it will be completely different than
Mm.
this. So the reason I say that is because I'm like, try to get to this if you can, if you're
Yeah.
gonna love
Yeah.
the Green Show, because this is the
Yeah.
last time you'll see what. So everybody who saw those 9 shows, and some of the
Mhm.
shows leading up to that, it's exclusive. Like, y'all may be the only ones who have ever seen where it started, and then to see
Okay.
where it will go is gonna be like,
Yeah.
I was there in the beginning. I saw the original version, so I can only
Wow.
imagine, as powerful as it is now, how much
Yeah.
more, because our tools have changed and
Yeah.
our company's scaling, and we're just growing all around all together anyway. So yeah, it's definitely gonna
Mm.
get bigger and better
That's
from here.
crazy. That's crazy that you said movie because I was thinking like I could see this being a movie. Like I could actually
Yeah.
see this, going to the screen and just kind of like, being able to reach so many more people than it already
Right.
had.
Right.
I think that would just be awesome. It
Yeah, I
would
feel
be
like the movie
absolutely
version of it is
awesome.
quite different. Same concept, but
Mm,
quite different. But
yeah.
we do have a movie version of it, and then, but with this, it's just a live experience. Like, when you
Yeah.
go in, like you said, our
Yeah.
people are trained to.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time before the show, imagine every single person who comes through that door is at the end of their rope. They want to give up on life. They want to, we just treat every person that comes in as if they're
Yeah.
that person, because you don't know what somebody's going through. And so that's why
Right.
they're so welcoming and loving and all of those things,
Yeah.
because they're a part of the show. Even though it's a one woman show on the
Yeah.
stage, it's like all these people that they're are part of this whole experience that you're escorted through. So it's so important that you have that, and so you won't get that again with the
Yeah.
movie. You can't get that with just seeing the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how did you get your cast? Like, did you like do a casting call? Is it people that you already knew that were already worked for you? Like, how did your cast come about?
That's a good question, because um cause
Really?
yeah, cause I mean, obviously it was originally a one woman show, and then we've added a
Mm-hmm.
few things along the way and added some guest appearances and things like
Yeah.
that. So some of them were people that I knew, and it's really hard.
Mm.
Like, when you look back on something that God did, you
Yeah.
almost don't. You're like, how exactly did He do that? But it's like, you were
Wow.
not meant to know every single aspect of it. I know, but
Yeah.
it is interesting to look back on it and wonder sometimes,
Yeah.
because it all just falls into place so perfectly.
Wow.
Like, every part of
That is
this, including the
crazy.
people that were chosen for it, and
Yeah.
we've had people come and go that have been a part of our production company, and the ones
Mhm.
who remain and stay consistent with it, it's like those are family. So
Yeah.
it's
Absolutely.
exciting to have to, like, in every city that we've gone in with this tour now, with it being 9 different cities, we pick up people along the way too. So
Oh
now
my
we have people in the
gosh.
show that are from cities that, when we got there, it's
Wow.
like, okay, like, and sometimes I'll be real hesitant to to tell people, like, for example, shout out to Zappa. She's going to be playing the angel in the Nine Lives grand finale. But the first time she played the angel was in our Nashville show some months back. And when I
Wow.
met her, it was like automatically clicked. And I was like,
Yeah.
how would you like to be in the show? It's just one of those things.
Oh my
And I didn't
goodness.
know like the angel dances and stuff. I didn't know if she danced. I didn't know like nothing
Yeah.
about this girl. And I'm just like, I just
Yeah.
saw her as this dancing
Wow.
angel. And so I like threw her under the bus, basically, but it was one of those things where,
Wow.
like, if it's for you, it's for you. And if it's
Yeah.
not, then just keep it moving. But if God tells is that heavy to put it on my heart to
Yeah.
say, I want you to be a part of this show, then I
Yeah.
go ahead and say it, no questions asked. And I don't know what that
Yeah.
person's going through or why they should be a part of it, but
Yeah.
I just be like, I think you should probably pray about this and find out, and
Yeah.
so that's how she ended up being in it. And when I tell you, like,
Wow.
we don't do rehearsals, we don't do we understand the mission. That's our rehearsal, is
Oh,
praying
that is
and understanding the
crazy.
assignment. So
Are you
when she came,
serious?
yes, I'm so serious. So you have to see her, like, she's a different one than we had in the Raleigh show. And when she came, it was like, here's the assignment and go for it. And I just have to trust that this is somebody that God put on this stage,
Yeah.
because I'm on the stage with them, and at this point, if they're messing it up, I can't do
Yeah.
nothing about it. And
It
so when
is
I
what it
tell you,
is.
she showed out, and I'm up here on the stage, like, trying to stay in character myself.
Are
So
you
there's a part of me
serious?
that's up here like acting and doing my thing that I'm supposed to be doing, but then there's the other part of me that's watching her
Just
like, oh my
looking, just
gosh, she is killing
watching.
it. Like, so
Oh.
it's like people like that just come along so much. Like, God sends everybody that's on my team right now is just a
Oh my
godsend,
goodness.
and I could not do any of this without them. So shout out to the whole S3 Productions team.
Oh my God, it's so crazy that it's like you're reading my mind. When you start talking about the angel, I was just getting ready to say, I think your assistant played the angel
She
when I
did.
was
She
at the
did.
Raleigh show, and I was just like, oh my gosh, she's like
Yup.
the perfect little angel. I was like, it's just like she had this angelic presence. I was like, oh my
Exactly.
gosh,
Right.
literally seemed like a freaking angel, and I was like,
And she
oh my
is. She really
goodness.
is.
I was like, oh my,
She
and I
is
was
a
like, she's
godsend
so
for me.
sweet. I was like, that is so crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, she looks
And
like
that's
a
what
little angel.
Right. And that's what I mean, is like every single show is
Yeah,
completely different. So, and because then that's why we don't rehearse. We just let God show
yeah,
up how that particular audience needs us to
yeah.
show up. And
Oh, that's so
so,
good.
like, the difference in the angels is like night and day, but they're
Yeah,
both amazing in their own way. And I believe that it was what that audience needed
yeah,
at that
yeah,
time.
absolutely.
So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. That is so good. That is so crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Okay, so you don't think you're gonna be doing any more tours? Maybe you don't know for sure.
If God, honestly, if God was to
Yeah.
tell me to at this point, I'd be like, Lord, have I not have enough? Have I not had enough of this? No, so I would probably, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I try not to predict too many things,
Yeah.
because if
Yeah.
God tells me to do it, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
whether I like it or not. But I just know there's a lot of other, even bigger things that we're working on
Yeah.
behind the scenes
Yeah.
right now that we're gonna
Absolutely.
start focusing on. And I seriously doubt that he would say, oh yeah, do this at the same time, by the way,
Okay. Yeah.
like,
Okay.
so we'll see.
Okay.
We're just gonna wait on God
To
on
be
that one.
determined.
Right, to be determined.
I
When
was just
God
gonna
says jump, I'll say how
listen.
high, but I'll also
You
be
gotta
like,
go.
oh, do I gotta? But okay.
Look, I listen. I definitely understand that, honey. I understand that sentiment for sure. So I was going to ask you that also. What are some other things that you have going on right now that you can let us in on? That you're doing.
Well, I'm going to be pulling back a little bit from the
Okay.
front of the stage after this show,
Okay.
because I'm going to be working behind the scenes on the next two books that are coming out. So there
Okay.
will be
Okay.
a part two of I
Okay.
am. There will be a part two of this, which is
Okay.
another reason that I'm not sure which direction we're going to go
Yeah.
with Nine Lives, because
Yeah.
we may have 9 completely new
Yeah.
characters for part 2. So that's a
Wow.
possibility as well. So then it'll be 18 lives, and then I'm gonna be like,
That would
what?
be awesome.
Then y'all really see some talent. Y'all, she played 18 different characters.
That would be awesome. I believe
But
you can
yeah,
do it.
so there's that possibility too, but I will
Yeah.
be focused on the books, the part 2
Okay.
of this one, and then my other book that goes with my show. I have a show called The Face of Homeless that I did
Oh,
pre-pandemic. So before the
okay.
pandemic happened, I was doing The Face of Homeless, and it was blowing up, and I'd done it like 20 times. But then again, the world shut down, and it was like, what do I
Yeah.
do now? I have to do
Yeah.
something with
Yeah.
what I have in my hands. So
Yeah.
The Face of Homeless is going to be coming back this coming
Mm.
year, and
Okay.
so there'll be a lot of buzz leading up to that, and the book that goes along with it as well will be released prior to that show airing the next time. So yeah, the book is
Absolutely.
running behind, but in God's timing, it's all gonna work out
Yeah.
perfectly. But yeah,
Absolutely. It's a
that's the
perfect
next 3
timing.
big things coming up.
Okay, so that's awesome. Girl, you stay so busy. I'm like, oh my goodness. How do you just how do you have the strength, the energy? Like what are you doing for self-care? Like how do you keep Vitale going through all of this?
Listen, it's a
'Cause
daily. It is a daily. I have to be very intentional
yeah, yeah,
and stop myself because
yeah.
having kids really helps me as far as scheduling and
Okay,
remembering to eat and sleep and things like that, because
okay.
when I'm with the kids I have to keep them on a
Yeah,
schedule. But
yeah.
honestly, when I'm not with the kids, I'm just like, did I eat today? I don't even remember.
Wow.
Like, so if it's just me on my own. But then I have an amazing
Yeah.
assistant, so shout out to
Okay.
Nisa, who you were mentioning earlier, my
Yes,
angel, my earth
she's
angel
great.
here
I
on earth.
love her.
She actually reminds me to eat. And
Oh,
then she
love
even, she's a godsend. Like I said, she
her. Yeah.
knows when I'm getting flustered and overwhelmed, and she wheels me in, and she's
Okay.
always sending encouraging messages every day. So just having the right people around me is
Oh.
helping as well to keep my mind right. And
Yeah.
then just being aware of myself, and knowing when I need to take a moment and just spend some
Yeah.
time with the kids, or
Yeah.
go outside and get in nature, and get grounded.
Yeah.
That always
Yeah.
helps, things like that. And then working out, trying to do better with that as well lately.
Yeah. Girl,
So just
the
keeping my
struggle is real.
physical together, right? It's like I'll be
Yeah.
on a roll, like in the gym every day, and then I'm like, oh,
Mm.
I'm killing it, and it's getting easier and easier.
So, ooh, I'm
And then
feeling
all of a sudden, it's like it's show
it.
weekend, like
Yep.
it's just nonstop. There's no
Yeah.
sleep, there's
Yeah.
no eating. Like I'll eat when I can. What's in the car? We got some
Yeah.
nuts over here. Like eat that,
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
definitely
Oh my
then I
God.
fall off, and I got to get back on it after the show is
Yeah.
over. So
Absolutely. I definitely can understand that. Well, honey, I'm gonna tell you what, this has been great. I'm so glad you were able to come and chat it up with us for a little bit. And we definitely had to talk about this tour because it is absolutely amazing. And guys, if you have not seen it, you better try to make it to this grand finale because you will be in for a treat. I'm telling you, it is awesome. I love it. Okay, now give them information about how to get to the grand finale, where to go, and we'll also add links as well with the episodes so they can click on it and get their tickets.
absolutely. So the last and final tickets are available on Eventbrite for the grand finale in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Y'all, we have people driving from all over the country now to see this, especially in the cities that we've already been to that
Yeah,
missed it the last time. So now they
yeah,
got to drive all the way to see us in Bowling Green.
yeah.
But you can get those tickets on Eventbrite. You can text
Okay.
us at 770-626-5075 as well if you are interested in joining our text blast list, so we can keep you in the loop with what's going on. You also get special discount codes and things through texting that number. And also, last but not least, you can go on Vitelle.net. That's Vitelle.net. Go to Vitelle.net. There's a way to subscribe right there on the home screen where you can subscribe via email, and you can find all our social media right there too.
Okay, sounds great. Okay, let them know all your social media handles so they can follow you on social media and just kind of also know other things that you have going on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys can find me on all the social media platforms at Vitelle, Vitelle. Like I said, if you go to Vitelle.net, KIMBERLYNET, you'll see links to all my social media as well. And of course, Us Three Productions is the name of our production company. US3 Productions. We just started social media just for Us Three Productions as well. So we're trying to get that build up so you guys can help us out by following and supporting. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook now. Oh, and LinkedIn now too. So make sure you guys follow Us Three Productions because we got a lot of amazing projects coming to you guys. And it's all about healing. It's all about breaking generational curses. It's all about
Yes,
making the world a better place. We are entertainment with a message. So make
I
sure y'all
love it.
stay tuned.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, you got to go out and support this tour. You better get to the last show, guys, because it is awesome. You don't want to miss it. And as she stated previously, you don't know if you're not going to be able to see it in this format. And you want to get the original format because it will have a huge impact on you. So we just want to make sure that everyone can get out there and get those tickets and get to seeing this play. I'm gonna call it a play, but it's awesome. So thank you so much, Vitelle, for
Experience.
taking time. It was an experience. Absolutely. Girl, that's perfect word for it. Absolutely.
Nine
Yes.
lives
Thank you
experience.
so much for taking time out of your busy day because I know you're extremely busy. We're just so grateful that you were able to make it with us today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This has been another great episode. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kimberly Speaking 8062. Hit that like, subscribe, and share, and send it to your friends, your family members, everyone. Just have them subscribe as well. We thank you for tuning in with us again. And until we speak again, be blessed.
Bye.